I went to PAX West 2025 this year, and I had a really good time, as I always do. I had several interviews set up, and one of those interviews was with Karen Morrison and Sharon Loftis of the IGDA Foundation. IGDA stands for International Game Developers Association. It's a foundation that's a global charitable organization that serves underrepresented and marginalized developers and individuals interested in a career within the gaming industry.
Everybody who's watching this already knows who I am. Tell me who you all are.
Well, I'm Karen Morrison. I'm here with the IGDA Foundation. I do the program. I'm one of the co-programming directors, and I'm also alumni of the program. I was in the Velocity cohort for the virtual exchange.
So can you tell me, you mentioned that earlier, what is the Velocity?
Okay, so there's 3 cohorts for the foundation program. One of the core aspects is what is now the virtual exchange. It used to be just just GDC and like these different programs. So Velocity is people that are outside games that are working to get into games. Oh. And then there's scholars, which are people that are students that are trying to get into games. And then Next Gen Leaders, NGL, they are in games and trying to advance their career to the next level.
I see. And so how does your organization, how does it help them? Because I know a lot of people, including myself, as we were talking earlier, that getting in the gaming industry is very difficult if you don't have the experience. And playing games most of your life doesn't count as experience, apparently.
Yeah. But it certainly helps. But
how do you find people that are, you feel are capable for something like this?
One, the part that I go to each time is community. So community is such a big aspect of games. And these events like this, we're going to say hi to friends and all that good stuff. And it's those people that are like, hey, meet my friend. Hey, and then it helps. Having people that have been in the industry that give you these little tidbits of advice that mean the absolute world to you and change and sometimes they don't even know that they gave you this advice and how meaningful it was to you.
When you got in, where were you in gaming? Were you a gamer?
You
had never been in the gaming industry before?
No, I didn't know anyone in games. A lot of my friends didn't even play games. I was one of the few gamer girl. I was playing my games and I had no idea. My background was in photography and I was involved with some graphic design organizations. And then I met IGDA. So this is a really important distinction. So there's
how long ago was this?
I think I met them in 2017.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it took a while. So I learned started to meet people in games. And then 2020 is whenever I was a grantee of the IGDA Foundation. Oh, okay. And then from there, it just kind of accelerated my understanding of the industry. For example, this is normal, it's gamer gear. It is very much developer gear.
Right.
I didn't know these things. They're just go in a 3-piece suit because you're going to go meet people in games and impress them. And, you don't know.
There's a guy in flip-flops. And,
exactly. And it's they're a CEO.
Right.
Okay, cool. Right.
So I think what I want to know, I want to speak for everyone, but I feel like a lot of people want to know, when you got in, where did you start? What was the first thing you did? What was the skill that you felt you brought to gaming that you were this is what I want to do and I think I can do it?
I knew I wanted to tell stories. My first job wasn't storytelling, but I was doing more marketing side. And realistically, that's storytelling, but to a different audience. So it's...
Right.
So I was able to take that, and then I met the team that I'm with now from there, and I was able to tell stories for actual games. And
that's really interesting. And so, what was your role for the most part? What was your title? What were some of the titles that you held?
Narrative design now.
Narrative design, which is. I post a lot of games. I get a lot of indie games, especially, and so many of them are narrative. And when I stream games, I tend to stream indie games, but no pun intended. One of my favorite games right now is Indy, the Indiana Jones game. Because it has such a I feel like I'm playing the Indiana Jones movie
Right.
when I played. It's one of the best AAA games that I've been excited about in forever, because that's what seems to be missing from a lot of these games is everybody wants explosions and graphics, but what about that story that pulls you in? You know what I mean?
From the indie world, there's so many amazing indie games that just like they have great stories, they have great mechanics. It's awesome to see more of them in the limelight, winning awards and all that good stuff. So that's very exciting to me.
And since you said you're an alumni. So
yes.
what do you do now exactly?
Well, I help run the programming.
Oh, that's great.
It's very exciting. Yeah, I whenever I was in it, and I feel like I didn't take advantage of the program. Like we always feel like that, like, oh, I could have done so much more, but I wanted to get involved. I loved the mission. I loved trying to bring people in that, that didn't feel like they could see themselves in games.
Right.
So
this gives you an opportunity to do those things.
Yes,
go back
exactly.
and what are some of the titles, things that you've worked on?
I mean, I've only been at one team. We've made Roots of Pacha. It's a farming sim in the Stone Age. Yeah.
I have a friend that plays that, actually. So I have a lot of content creator friends.
Oh, cool.
And many of them stream indie games. And Yogomi, the site, the focus is almost entirely indie games. Like, if I get sent something that's a major game, even if it's like a major IP, I'm apprehensive about putting it on the site because I know that that's going to get so much marketing and so much money behind it.
Right.
Something else I saw that you're really big on, spreading these opportunities to more diversity, and it's very interesting to have this conversation as a person of color. Weird, strange time where it almost seems like it's illegal to offer opportunities to people who are marginalized so how do you navigate through that?
You just keep doing, keep saying you're trying to include people and put your hand out and wait for someone to take it. That's what it feels like. I mean, you just got to keep going. Thankfully I have the bandwidth to do that. I'm in a place that I can do that, and I don't that's really difficult for a lot of people. So the ability that we're able to provide these programs, to be a welcoming space for people and understanding, and it's rough out there.
It really is. The gaming industry has been having these ups and downs, and so I think that is also a deterrent for people wanting to get in the gaming industry. And what would you have to say to people like that are like, I feel like persistence is the key, but it can beat you down at the same time too. So
definitely, I mean, persistence is key, and it was challenging before. Whenever I got in, I was trying. I didn't know what to do. It felt like I was just running into a wall constantly. But then once it's I realized, there's a door over here, and then it's such a welcoming, wonderful community. It's so supportive. The indie community is amazing.
Yeah.
I being in Seattle, I'm a big fan of their community. I'm in San Diego, and I want to bring just a little bit of that back with me.
Yeah.
So and I know that exists elsewhere, and you just keep going. It's such strange advice of if there's the thing you want to do, you just keep doing that thing until it eventually people believe you to do it. Opportunity meets preparedness is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Whenever I got hired to do narrative, finally, I didn't have experience. We had enough interactions and enough contracted me to help a little bit, and then they're like, all right, let's do it. And to be honest, it was terrifying because I'm like, this is exactly what I want. Okay, now it's time to do it. So I, all in, just
that's
had to
awesome.
go for it, and
I
loved it.
So that's what you think, and I think along with me, if you have an idea, if you want to do something, you should just do it.
Yeah.
I have a friend who has a daughter who wants to start drawing fashion, but she's like, but my drawings aren't very good. And I said, well, just keep drawing. Just keep drawing. If that's what you want to do, just do it. Because with the Yogomi, I just wanted to do it. I didn't know it was going to get, it's still super small, but it's big enough that, again, that I'm getting media passes to these conventions and everything just from me doing it by myself.
Yeah.
And so I think that's really good advice to just do it if you really want to do it. Yeah.
And it's not about being good either.
That's
one of my
her.
favorite quotes is you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. and amazing stories to tell. Like that to me is the part, like, of course I'm a little bit biased, but like, having people share the world experience is so invaluable. Like like empathy is such a human trait. Like we need to lean into empathy. Like we are a community.
And this is also where the diversity comes from, because of all the different stories that come from people from different backgrounds, different cultures, and you meld those together. And so I think for gaming, with so much talk about AI, I mean, there's so much talk about AI. I think that's also kind of scary. For people to even approach, like, am I going to be replaced by AI and things like this? So do you have
I mean, to me, I empathize with the fear, but I don't see the practicality of it. I don't know, like code, like AI can't debug itself, for example, and like writing, I don't know, it starts to sound all the same. Like we get applications, and we encourage people that are from outside the US that aren't native English speakers, like, it's fine to use it, but you really need to get your ideas across.
Right.
And it can't come up with ideas for you. It's going to say the same things. They're not. It's not the best idea generator.
I don't think it ever will be.
It can't be. Like it just by definition of
artificial.
Yeah, like we just like there's something about combining things. I mean, like I don't want to. I'm not an expert in it by any means, but like the human aspect of it and what we bring to the table is so unique that I just can't picture it doing something to that same degree. So I again, I've never really don't have experience with it. I don't know, and I come from a small team that doesn't use it at all. So
I use it again. I'm a one-man band, so I use it when I need to. For example, there's some code I needed to write. I needed to replicate it, and I needed to replicate over 700 lines of code. So I can go into AI and say, hey, I need you to replicate this line of code, but I need you at this number here in this quote, increment it by 700 times. Things like that. I can use it. But when I have ideas or when I want to put my spin on it, I don't rely on AI for those things.
And I mean, in the indie space, I know for like it feels like a fact, I would say, that it's just the wrong audience. Like if you're going to like we want things that have genuine stories. We want things that have genuine passion that made it. Like you feel it. I mean, this is probably a generalization. There are plenty of games that have done well that are not. They're just, like rage bait or whatever. But like, I would say the majority of things are just so much passion, so much love has been put into it that you feel it on the player side.
Sure. I think that's good. I think that's what a lot of people are going to want to hear. Because I think a lot of people are afraid. And again, I'm watching now as a lot of colleagues are getting laid off and they're losing their jobs. Some of them in the gaming industry. I would be interviewing someone who I interviewed in Boston who's currently looking for a position. Now, I'm not saying AI had anything to do with that. It's just the gaming industry is just so weird right now. But I think a lot of people, that's going to be welcoming like feedback on people that are worried about
I mean,
AI.
I have my limited experience, but I don't know.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more, as far as like you meet other people, the community aspect, that's such an important, like you're saying with your community is super positive and you just want to be in that.
Yeah.
So like you don't want that thing of like, oh, well, the robots put this together for me and we're rolling it together. Like it just doesn't feel the same.
My community knows I'm pretty, I won't say I'm overly vocal, but I'm pretty vocal about AI. I'm like, kind of like, I'm just so sick of like AI slop. How can people get a hold of?
So one thing, if you're interested in getting to games, there's IGDA and IGDA Foundation.
Okay.
So IGDA is a membership organization. It's the International Game Developers Association. And there'll be local chapters, it's membership. So they'll have different, like I'm involved in San Diego and we do different events. We do game jams. If you don't know what game jams are, highly recommend that. And then there's the IGDA Foundation. So we are the nonprofit arm, and it's like the ones that like we create programming, we center around community, and it is focused on marginalized people and with marginalized identities. And what that means is realistically, so the virtual exchange is one of our larger programs. We're trying to expand to many different places. We're going to have people in Africa this year for Africa Games Week, and I know that we want to do more events and be more places. And like today, we're doing a community jam, and it's really about bringing people together around the idea of creating games.
That's great.
But the virtual exchange is the programming is now, it's actually currently running, but applications open up in, let's say, February-ish. So but follow us on social media, are really active on LinkedIn. That's also a very game-centric, I would say.
And I'll put all that info in the
Awesome,
video,
yeah, thank you, yeah. And there's the IGDA Foundation.org also. That is super important. Lots of things going on there. I know we'll be doing what I keep saying, the unannounced game jam. That'll be, it'll be announced eventually, but it'll be in March, and I was told I was allowed to say that. So
okay, now we all
feels like insider knowledge here.
Will you all go to PAX in Boston?
I won't.
Okay.
I don't know. We have a lot of alumni, and I know there's people that are in that area that probably would be interested in doing things like this. So the goal is to really empower all the people that are involved. The alumni are all amazing people that are trying to do awesome things in the world. I described it earlier as like a self-replicating machine, in the sense of like we bring people in that want to do good things in the world,
right?
And that's what we want to. And they're doing that within games. So like we are empowering people to empower others. So it has taken many different forms.
I'm definitely interested, especially since you mentioned something before we started talking. So I'm definitely going to look into this more.
Please apply.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look into
that.
this. And like I said, I've always wanted to be into gaming. I've always wanted to get into the gaming, and Yogomi was sort of my way. But I think this is very useful information for a lot of other people.
Yeah.
That have, who knows what these people could bring to the table, to make amazing, like you said, stories and create experiences for other people for great games. Right. So awesome. Well, thank you for doing this interview with me. And yeah, it was good to meet you.
And my moral support that's next to me.
Moral support, yeah. If I had another mic, I would have let you talk.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Awesome.